nobody was really talking about his two teammates, Hunter and Kaka. They were just going to say, hey, you're going to get a great teammate. But that, once the event started, that's been the real story, Jorby, is how great Hunter and Kaka look with the complement of Joreuz, because you have to give them their flowers, especially in the last series they played today. Chiefs, Hunter and Kaka in particular, looked fantastic alongside Joreuz.
Hunter on defense made a lot of heroic saves near the end of the series to solidify the win for Chiefs. At the start of this game, can they keep that momentum going and keep that belief? We talk about Rocket League being 90% mental. I'm almost willing to believe it's 99% mental. G2, they're as stable as they come when it comes to mentality, and they score first.
Now pay attention to Nas here in the box. He creeps up on it. He pulls off the ball to make that last man bite because he knew Atomic was there the whole time.
Like, I feel like that's something Beast Mode would do. You know what I mean? Like, he's just doing Beast Mode things.
Not the comparisons.
No, I'm not comparing. I'm just like, it's just funny. It's funny how that's working, because Nas didn't look like Beast Mode on M80. So, like, it's crazy to me that you can just slot in on G2. And for a player that is in the argument for best player in the world,
definitely,
like at least top 3. Like, and you just come in and you slot in and it doesn't even look like you lost a step. That's huge.
And I feel like it's, it's a big testament to who Atomic and Daniel are when you can pull a new player in and make them, look like beast mode. Not to say that Nas isn't a great player, but how strong a supporting cast Atomic and Daniel can be, and also the main character for G2. I think Nas certainly learning a lot here with G2, and he's looked stellar.
Not much push here for Chiefs early on. Daniel just decides to leave the ball, and that did make it quite awkward for Kaka to get a solid 50. G2 are going to keep giving him looks like that, and Chiefs have to be aware of it and have to add those layers. They were capable of adding those layers in that last series against Gentlemates, who gave them a lot of different looks as well. They're one of the best teams in the world at giving you those mix-ups. But G2, here they go. Here's Daniel. Ooh, he absolutely flubbed the shot.
Just a little wide on that one as well, and a weak shot now. Chiefs returning the favor. Placement here matters, and it goes through for Kaka in traffic. G2 caught, rotating back, and Hunter putting on the pressure. Joreuz trying to keep it in the play, and it was Kaka to clean it all up.
Yeah, that touch right underneath, it was, who was it? Atomic, and it was just ahead of his nose. He couldn't get the rebound off the wall, but I think all of G2 saw Daniel get the reset off the backboard, and they thought automatic. I was thinking automatic, and then he ended up landing it on his undercarriage, and G2 got caught back. They couldn't get back in time, and when you're in that hurry-up mode on the transition, well, Chiefs have proven in this tournament they are good enough to punish you for it.
And Chiefs, much like Furia in the last series, are going to have to figure out the pace of play from G2, and they're doing well. Finding some success with possession. Nobody up from G2 here. Kaka had a free shot on target, and unfortunately hit a weak one towards all 3 of the G2 defense. That's the big moments for Chiefs that they have to capitalize on.
Especially all 3 of G2 had 100 boosts.
Yeah.
Someone's got to get up for that ball. And Daniel and Atomic in the same area, but they get the clear out. Joreuz tries to follow the ball as much as he can. Now Chiefs are pushed back, and all of G2 are racing back again. They've had to concede the midfield a couple of times now, where maybe you want to prevent that transition, and Chiefs, here they go again, creating pressure where you might not be expecting it. Daniel taking matters into his own hands, tries to show the threat, get them to bite, but they maybe bit a little too hard on the line.
G2, what a great follow-up from Atomic, and I was about to say, G2, their attack is a lot more methodical than maybe what we saw in the last series from Team Falcons. They like to set each other up, individual plays that penetrate the box. You can see from Nas getting in behind the defense, making a threatening touch towards the net, and then his teammates are able to crash that play. G2 back in the lead.
And I mean, the transition from Chiefs where they started to put some pressure on the back wall, and then who is it? Daniel. And that's why Chiefs is so confident with Daniel, because he just totally stops any kind of momentum that you had going for you on offense and started that whole push. And now he'll do the same thing here, forced to clear out downfield. The Chiefs have to concede the midfield and try to play this ball into the corner. Well, not bad form right now. Chiefs, Kaka gets a little bit of space to work with, and the rest of Chiefs tried to set up. Majorius gets deleted, and a hard touch, but a great touch out. Probably the best touch you could hope for there with how hard that ball was hit. Coming back out, Chiefs are struggling, but they are getting a hold of the ball. They're able to slip through a couple of times, and another demo. G2 aren't completely controlling the game against them.
No, Chiefs they're getting their punches in here, and you know, you will have to weather the storm with G2, but you're sitting 2-1, or rather 1-2 down for Chiefs. 50 seconds left on the clock, plenty of time to get back. I don't know what's going on with Atomic, and Joris maybe could be the man to lead the charge for Chiefs here in the final 45.
Ooh, a clean win for Atomic. Across the corner, 4 boosts is all he needs for the pass. Nas hoping to bait somebody out, thinking a shot's gonna come. He'll put it up high, maybe open up some space, but nobody bit. And now Chiefs get to move down the field with 30 left. Atomic and Daniel in the air. A little anxious on defense.
Not the first time.
Yeah.
Not the first time we've seen the double commits coming out of G2, especially when there isn't much pressure on the ball from Chiefs. Communication not looking good from G2, despite how good the game's been so far.
Oh, that touch falling down, that was important. Nas was ready to just push that right in. But Chiefs aren't really on the ball right now. The 50, Jorius can't go. He doesn't have enough boost, and Daniel was already in the air. Couple of resets, dribble towards the net. And unless Chiefs pull out the magic, we got a G2 Game 1 victory. There it is.
And for Chiefs, this isn't the worst Game 1 in the world from them. I think there's a lot of positives here. They were able to gain ground downfield. They were able to put on some shots. They were able to find each other in the midfield, and like you said, hold that midfield and push back that line of G2 multiple times. So for Chiefs, you shouldn't hang your head on a game like this. For G2, it was fine. It was fine from G2. They got the job done, and that's, I think, the most I could say about it. I wasn't super impressed. This wasn't, you know, I mean, maybe the contrast of what we saw from Team Falcons is maybe muddying my opinion, but
how could it not?
I feel like for G2, this game could have been opened up a lot more from them, but great passing play here and a lot of great attack from G2, especially controlling that final third. Maybe not as threatening as I would like from G2, but again, got the job done.
I am slightly concerned with the unforced panic on defense. There was the triple commit with nobody challenging the ball, which honestly was what forced that triple commit. But then Daniel and Atomic jumping for the same ball. And G2 are a very disciplined team, so it was surprising to see that.
Yeah, maybe too disciplined with the triple non-commit that they had.
yeah, maybe we need to be, maybe we do need more double commits. Don't listen to me. I'm not a coach. But, you know, for Chiefs, like you said, I don't think it was the worst game from them. I would like to see more command out of the midfield from them. Bring that ball down like they were able to do against Gentlemates.
They need just a bit more possession. They're getting those quick counter chances. They're getting those quick 1-2 pass play chances, but they're not getting that extended attack.
And you're going to have to force that possession game against G2. Because like you were saying in game 1, you know, G2, it's a different kind of pace of play. It's control, whittle you down, really slowly, methodically, rip you apart by the seams, and eventually there's just nothing you can do about it. The demo will give you a free space, but you got to handle the ball. You can't blame Kaka too much for that one. G2 will get a chance down here with Nas. Looking downfield, Chiefs get into the lanes quickly. And that's really what helped them against Gentlemates, keeping their eyes in those passing lanes, not being afraid to get up and challenge that ball when G2 try to create space with those short passes.
And on the G2 side, especially defensively, they're the type of team that likes to leave no stone unturned. They have to mark everything. They try and hedge for every single type of play, whether it's a solo play, whether they see some sort of threat with the flip reset come out from individual play, passing plays as well. So Chiefs have to be a little more unpredictable when they approach their offense, because G2, it feels like they're ready for anything.
Nas hurrying up the defense there on the back wall, going for the demo. Daniel slows it down now. The switch up, got the 50, and you saw his teammate lurk, and Atomic was ready to push that in. And Nas rotates back quickly enough. Chiefs, they get the clear, but now how do you hold the ball? How do you actually force G2 to play defense? Here you go, you get a couple of touches, but you have to wait. The touch wasn't good enough for Chiefs to go for. They're back on defense.
At G2, they're holding a lot of possession this final third. Chiefs doing their best to break out, and maybe it's Jorius. That's not the greatest touch from Atomic. Hunter's getting a couple. It's trickling in front of that, teasing Chiefs. And G2 catch back up to the play.
They already committed their whole rotation to that play, so that 50 was basically a nothing. Well, it was just nothing for them. But yeah, like you said, taunting them, knowing that, wait, there might be an opening in there. They haven't really had one yet through 7 minutes of gameplay. Still 0-0 though. And G2 still commanding in front. Hard clear for the Chiefs. Can you get to the 50s? If this one goes away from their rotation again, they get to that follow-up challenge in the midfield, but it's just slap your car at the ball without any thought for where that follow-up is, and a great pass, but good cover up there by the Chiefs.
And I'm actually sad that G2 didn't score that, because I want everyone to see the command that Daniel has over a defense of Chiefs. When he slowed down that air dribble, everyone jumped up, trying to get a read on where Daniel is going to go. And it bought himself so much space into the box of Chiefs.
Well, Nas, he straight up just went for Jorius there to make sure he couldn't catch the ball. Jorius had already touched the ball, and then that's when Nas straight up went for Jorius. They are trying to isolate him and take him out of the play. Force this game to be won by Kaka and Hunter. Put the pressure on them to make the plays. And so far, it has worked for G2 to stifle this Chiefs offense.
And yet we sit 0-0. And G2, a couple of forays into the Chiefs side, but nothing too threatening out of them. And Chiefs have had their couple opportunities as well. But with a minute and a half left to go, Chiefs, you're sitting down a game. You certainly would love to punch back in this series, and this is the game to do it.
Jorius, a bit of a heavy catch. Had to make up for it. Not a bad adjustment. You gave Daniel something heavy to work with that allows Hunter to take this 50. Setting up for Kaka, but too far back, and Nas able to take it back down to the midfield. Pass is cut off. Nice cut by Hunter, and great follow-up from Jorius as well. Chiefs winning defense in the thirds. That's huge for them to get it set up. Kaka can't get it set up, though.
And if you're going to get a big booming clear like that, getting it over the line of G2, making them turn back around towards their net is so important. You saw that there, Chiefs. Look at this. Look at they're able to pull their line towards the midfield line. It's unfortunate from Kaka
almost
to not get into that challenge, but they were set up there to kind of pin G2 at least into a corner or onto their own goal line, and that allows Chiefs to move into the action.
Tomic just keeping it away. It didn't get enough of a pop out into space. Kaka still gets to air dribble it out, protect the ball. Talk about ball security being important in game 2 for Chiefs. I think they've accomplished that on defense at the very least. Offense has been a little harder, but they also haven't faced a lot of pressure from G2. You know, it's like the difference like Falcons in Furia, right? Where Falcons are just taking shot after shot after shot. But it's not the case for G2.
Oh, we got the bump.
They do get one here. Off the bump, it takes G2 getting the whole rotation involved. Atomic finally breaks.
Daniel gets a demo and then chases the last man in Hunter. Atomic, I mean, that's an open goal. Hunter almost got back to it with that flip, but Daniel did the work, clearing out the defense, getting a demo and a bump, and G2 go ahead late with 16 seconds on the clock.
The full complement needs to be firing here for Chiefs. G2 are forcing them to play their best game, and they're getting demoed. Hard to play your best game when you can't play the game. Jorius can't get the hold, and with no time left on the clock, the ball has to stay in the air, and G2 would love to put it in their net instead. But hey, Chiefs get it out, and here comes Nas with a double touch. Barely kept up, and G2, close series, but they keep getting the game wins.
Yeah, close game from G2, but again, they are doing the bare minimum to win these games. You know, this is not some absolute destruction coming out from G2, but for them, I think they've done a good job to doing what needs to be done, and they're getting the win, so there's no complaints there. Chiefs are going to take a timeout here. And Jorby, we had the discussion in the last series about why Furia would wait till 0-3 to take a timeout, and maybe Chiefs have learned from that. You go down 2 games, albeit closer games than the previous series. They're going to take a timeout right now.
Look, I would hope that pro teams have learned over the course of, I don't know, the last, like, however long we've had tactical timeouts, 4 years, that the 3-0 timeout never works. Like, I don't think you need a Furia doing that to learn you that lesson, right? But it's close. Honestly, it's just a few missing pieces for Chiefs. They just don't have any presence on offense.
It was very apparent in this game, in game 2. It was a little blunt from Chiefs. They just didn't have that same stopping power that we might have saw in the last game, albeit they, didn't generate, I think, enough goals. But for Chiefs, this game, it felt like their offense sprayed out to the side too often. They couldn't hold on to possession. We talked about that being super important for them, but for Chiefs getting their offense going, you're seeing the attack move downfield, but you're not seeing the conversion.
And I think that the game plan for G2, you've seen it a couple of times, straight up targeting Jorius. And preventing his ability, because as much as we talk about how well Kaka and Hunter have played, the reality is the can opener of this team has been Jorius. He's gotten some crazy plays, and when he's on the ball, he can do some crazy things. But we're at this same crossroads with Jorius every single time. Group stage Swiss Jorius is the best player in the world. Playoff Jorius, I don't know. But
it's a little more understandable when you go up against G2.
I don't think it's his fault, though.
But
That's where I was trying to get, is because we've seen a couple of times now G2 successfully be able to take Jorius out of the play, make him irrelevant, and force his complement to make the plays. They haven't been able to do it. They've been able to do it on defense, but not on offense.
Yeah, you're right, though. I mean, there is some substance to that when you're talking about Jorius in particular. We haven't really seen the individual play come out from him. Yes, Chiefs have been using each other, but sometimes it just takes one guy to break through a defense, and you haven't seen that from Jorius. And again, I was talking about G2's defense and how strong they are to prepare for every type of attack. They seem to know how to hedge against anything. And that's why I think Chiefs, they're going to have to come up with something quite creative if they're going to break down G2.
Well, that's a great touch from Jorius. Daniel will be there to meet him. The 50 will get it started. So that's a good opener, but then G2 give it right back to Atomic with the reset. Get the bump, maybe, no. Good avoid. And Chiefs slip out underneath them. Honestly, sometimes it feels automatic when he gets it. And Nas, whoa, barely saved. And the ball stays close enough to the net that Chiefs can follow it up and prevent the rebound for G2. And Atomic can't hold on to the ball. Daniel has the full tank. Has to respect the play, though, and get the ball downfield, expend the tank, has his teammate, and still great discipline there from Chiefs, and he gets a beautiful clear downfield.
Chiefs, this is a good look. I think Kaka didn't expect that one to come out so hot from the backboard. He was pushed up pretty far. The Chiefs finding some poise here in the midfield. That's a good dunk. It goes off the post, followed from Kaka. Another one off the post. Chiefs knocking on the door.
Hell yeah, Kaka is gonna want that one back. That's the best look they've had so far. And maybe he won't get many more chances like that against G2, but that's the one where that was the confidence established, right? If you get that goal. But still, they're not quitting. They're able to get the ball downfield. Nas doesn't get a great touch.
Whoa.
Daniel, well, a little skirt, and Kaka gets bumped off the play. Nice response there from G2. Gives Daniel a little bit of space to take Jorius in, take that 50 back over to the corner, gets to control the game. Daniel gets to play Daniel's game, but Chiefs still just peppering the net, forcing G2. Fine, you want to keep making the saves, you want to keep bringing it down, we're going to keep throwing heaters at the net and forcing you to catch it every time. Hunter going up with the changeup, and G2 keep having to go out to the sides. Kaka next up, 92 in the tank, popping it up, he's over one, getting it across, and this is the best push Chiefs have had yet.
Man, they just need the final touches on these plays, but he got bumped. Daniel gets bumped into the flick. And he scores off of it. Who was it?
Oh, everything was going right, and then it goes so wrong. Hunter trying to bump Daniel away from the ball, and he accomplishes the exact opposite.
Yeah, he was probably looking for a demo or something.
Oh, it would have been a free ball, free clear.
And with how good Chiefs have looked coming off this timeout, they looked better than G2 in the first couple minutes here.
Yeah.
And what a deflating goal to let in from Chiefs, and see if they can get back to that attack that they had, because they were really pushing G2 back, and G2 is not doing a good job of navigating Chiefs offense there for at least 30 seconds or so. Chiefs, we finally got to see them stay in the attacking third and really put on the heat to G2, collecting G2's corners, recycling back into the play. Is that another one going in?
Yeah.
Long range from G2.
Chiefs got demoed, or I don't know who it was specifically. Oh no, Jorius got the demo, never mind, didn't matter. I think everyone got smoked, so no one saw Atomic going up initially. See Hunter go downfield expecting a 50. It doesn't work out, and matters get worse all of a sudden. 2-0 for G2, or say first half of the game. Yeah, Chiefs, we got the rotations. We're looking great. We're pressuring G2. They're not able to control the ball, and they could just cough up two bad balls, and G2 have insurance.
That is so frustrating for Chiefs, and they got 2 minutes left, but like you said, they've set up so much good in this game. And to be sitting with less than 2 minutes left on this game, down 0-2, is such a shame for Chiefs, but still plenty of time to get two back.
Atomic will get the free play. Good job from Kaka, quickly coming back from his own third, keeps it away from the rotation, so Hunter gets the play.
There it is.
Jorius, but that's a touch up. G2 getting back to the ball, and Hunter got bumped. but the shot was not on target. You know, who knows if Kaka gets back to it.
It was going to be another long-range shot from G2. Chiefs can't afford to give up another one, not with the way they've gone in this game. This has been one of their better games as far as pressure and breaking through that G2 defense. Like I said, they just need those final touches towards the net. And Chiefs, they could make this one a lot closer of a game.
Jory is trying to open up the space, trying to open up the play, but he ended up just handing that one away. He didn't have any boost to really force a solid 50 opportunity. And Jory is still forced to hold the ball in the midfield as the rest of his team gets reset. And they're just losing that momentum that they had at the start of the game. Daniel keeping the ball away from Kaka. He's got no boost. See him in the midfield having to collect the boost, but receive it from Daniel. This is a good look for Hunter. Finds the right side. No redirect, no bump. Rebound shot for Kaka denied by Nas, and Daniel will take away the rebound.
Little in and out save from Nas. Quality to get that read. You got to pick the right starting spot on that type of save. And he picked the right spot. 30 seconds left, and Chiefs, who have been knocking on the door all game, still scoreless.
If they get some sort of quick clear, you need something with time left. Going down 3-0, you already know how rare that is to come back from a G2. This time, while it wasn't dominating in possession, you weren't completely smothering Chiefs. You punished the mistakes. You got the long clears. You created a chaotic situation that Chiefs could not respond to, and they're completely quiet. No answer right now with 3 seconds left. It will be 3-0 in the series. G2 on quadruple match point against Chiefs here in our last quarterfinal of the night.
And G2, this is a little bit more of what you would expect scoreline-wise in this type of series. But again, I feel like, oddly enough, Chiefs generated the most offense that we've seen, maybe one of their better games when it comes to their offense. And I would say at least 2 of those goals from G2 were very unfortunate in the sense of long-range shots. You don't see those types of goals going in. Obviously, Hunter running into G2, or was it Daniel who put that one accidentally away?
That kind of deflated all of their momentum, didn't it?
And what a great start to the game from Chiefs. And again, they sit up scoreless, right? I'm talking about a team who didn't score, saying how great their offense was. But it was. I mean, they had pressure against G2, and they could have easily been winning 2-0 in this game.
Yeah, I mean, they had great setups. That save was nuts as well. But then this one right here, this is where everything started going wrong. And, you know, we've all been there. We go for the demo, and you either bump them into a save, you bump them into putting it into your own net, and it's a tilting experience. I can only imagine how to get your mental back on stage in a LAN environment like this, but you have to practice that short-term memory loss in these situations. Otherwise, G2 will bop you every time.
And they've been bopping throughout this tournament. They really have. And
got the beats.
You know, I've been seeing, you know, the comments made by analysts here and the comments online by the fans, and they're right. Nas, he's fit in so well with G2.
Like a glove.
Everyone's been saying that he's kind of the beast mode junior for G2, and they're not wrong. He's been fantastic. You know, in that highlight reel just at the end there, you saw him with a little in and out save there. I mean, he's fitting in just fine with G2. And
why does a Beast Mode Junior sound like something I get at a drive-thru? I'm going.
It does sound pretty good.
Order a meal. I get a little Beast Mode Junior action figure.
That's like, oh yeah, I was thinking like maybe like a hamburger. You know,
a hamburger. The hamburger's called the Beast Mode. Yeah. And like you can get the Beast Mode, but that one's like if you haven't eaten all day. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. That's after an 8-hour shift type of meal.
Maybe we'll go order a Beast Mode after today.
He's gonna patent that. We just gave him a great idea.
Beast Mode, you can have it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take some royalties there, but
you know, we'll talk. We'll talk to him. Jory is. Let's see if we can get this team electrified a little bit. There's a shot. Been rare at times for Chiefs. Man, G2 just so good at bringing the ball down. Their ball security, as good as anybody in the league, as good as anybody in Rocket League. Daniel staying on it. It just forces Chiefs, meaning you always have to respect the next touch. You can't just rely on a cough up, even if you throw a heater at them. I mean, and that was happening with Falcons against G2 in London in the grand finals. Falcons would throw heaters, heater after heater at G2, but they just catch it and stop the play, stop momentum, and it's a wall. And how do you break through such a massive wall when you just can never force them off the rock?
Well, the biggest shame, I think, is that the best way I think you can combat a defense that has been so stalwart is on the counterattack. And Chiefs haven't really shown too much of the counterattack here against G2. And maybe that's some credit to G2 in the way they structure their defense. But for Chiefs, maybe some of the better looks that they could get would be coming in the transition part of the game. G2, like I said before, very meticulous in how they want to set up. They have a shape that they try to attune to every single time the play goes back to their side. And when they get set up, Jorby, they're so hard to break through.
Jory is pre-flip. No, he can't. He doesn't have the boost. That touch needed to be perfect. Wow. Atomic with that air roll shot. We're close to maximum power on it. That thing went flying. Nass will keep it away. I did like what Chiefs were doing, trying to create space on defense. They started drawing G2 in on a feint and giving it on back to Jorias in the corner. And Jorias ended up getting a poor touch and had to force the ball out into the middle, and you got stretched, use more boost. And it's not perfect. And unfortunately, G2 are forcing you to be perfect. And if you have to use more boost than you want to, well, that only favors G2. And there you go. Case in point, ball in your net. Atomic puts them up 1-0.
And that's a tough read from Kaka, because that one comes so quick off of Nass. Just a little late and just too far behind the ball. And you could see it in that, before the replay happened, when the play actually happened, we were on Kaka's cam, and you could see on ball cam, that cam whip around to the backboard. It's such a tough read to get.
Yeah.
Not impossible, but when it comes at that pace, you have to be perfect. And you know G2, with the ball coming clean off the backboard, they're going to be right there.
Especially because you don't know exactly when the player's going to get there and take the shot. There are two factors at play there. You can only trust in your read.
Ball cam
off the wall
takes you away from the rest of the field. It forces you to focus towards your backboard where the ball went. And now you don't have the read on the attacking player.
No, Jory flips it up, and finally, Chiefs get one through. It's a little bit of that Hunter Daniel bump that we saw last game. This time, Jorias gets a little bit of an assist on the flick.
How did we get two of those in one series?
Well, Rocket League's just that way sometimes.
And that was a little bit different, but he did get quite a bit of power from G2. And finally, Chiefs able to get into this one, and they stopped the bleeding early.
The double-edged sword, though, you know, you could have ended up crossbarring that one, and it would have G2 would have looked like geniuses. The fine line between ingenuity and stupidity. But here come G2, trying to increase the IQ. They'll just take it back. Nass, protect the ball. You don't got to work too hard. Chiefs have not really earned the respect for you to have to play it hard and fast. They have to beat you, and G2 are fine to play that way. Come and get the ball. Good luck trying to pry it off of us. It took us bumping into you to score, so try to do that again. Jorias not going to get back to the touch, and that's been kind of really what's encapsulated the series for me, Corelli, is just the touch just off. The touch is just a little too much. That time, you didn't even touch it.
Just not getting there in time. That's a great touch out to Kaka, and again wide. Here's some good pressure, though, from Chiefs. Everyone getting involved. Kind of having one chance blocked by G2, a second chance blocked by G2. So Chiefs getting in their rotation, pushing back G2, but G2's going to break out, and a double commit from Chiefs might spell disaster. Daniel waits, but he's got everyone in front of him.
It was okay. Jorias was able to force Atomic to go high on the play. It made it easier so that the double commit wasn't too deadly. The final 20. This is Chiefs tournament life right now. They have to score just to keep playing in the series. G2 have so much room to work with. And Daniel has it up high. The backboard's clean. We go to OT for the game 4. Atomic, reset. No chance, a high ball. Daniel's got to dive back, and he's got the touch back to Nass. And his time expires. Nass will actually play it high. Go for the mustard. Oh, they're going for the win. Atomic, nope, just a little too much mustard on that one.
Yeah, that one came with extra sauce. And for G2, looking to close out this series, they've been perfect here at the Esports World Cup. Jorias in a 1v2. Nass will jump in front.
No one able to take it. Hunter has to wait. He attacks Atomic, was following him the whole way through, just couldn't bump Daniel off the ball. Atomic, here he goes with a double lineup. Perfect shot! Atomic with 3 boosts as he takes the touch, and no problems getting into the Chiefs' net.
G2 doing what they came to do. Expectations met here against Chiefs. A 4-0 to continue their journey to the top.
Well, we thought maybe Chiefs would be able to do something in this series. However,